Only a handful of spots are still left for our social media workshop. December 30th, Cleveland, Ohio. We don't give a damn if you've got a big following. In fact, for this specifically, we don't want you to have a big following. We want to show you that you can make money from a small following. It doesn't matter if you're a local coffee shop, if you're a local hairstylist, or you create mugs for people, or you've got your own consulting business. We can help you make money from your social following. I don't care if it's 45 people. We can teach you how to make money from it, grow it, and monetize what you're doing already. To sign up, go to www.bizlaunchacademy.co/workshop. It's also in the show notes. Just while you're listening to this, click on the show notes, whether on YouTube or whatever podcast platform you listen to. Click on it, sign up, enter. Spots are super limited. Again, bizlaunchacademy.co/workshop. At Our City Coffee, we've already started our Black Friday deals. From 25 to 60% off coffee, mugs, subscriptions, all the good stuff. Go to ourcitycoffee.com/Black Friday. We started before everybody else because we do what we want to do when we want to do it, and we did it. Black Friday has begun. It won't be here forever, so take advantage of it right now. ourcitycoffee.com/Black Friday. Deals are crazy. On today's episode with Diana, we talk mindset. She's a mindset coach, a former CPA, quit her job, moved out to LA. A lot of what we talked about is just changing how we say things and also being a little bit more accountable for what we say and what we do. I think this is the first podcast we talk about neurolinguistics, and I think it totally fit and makes sense. And if you listen, it'll make sense to you too. We hope you enjoy this episode, and thank you for listening.
Yeah. Well, didn't Tiger lose a handful of big-time endorsers?
He lost
Nike?
almost everything, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he lose? No, he didn't
I don't
lose
think
Nike.
he lost Nike. I think Nike stood by them.
He lost a lot, but you know, like when all that stuff comes out, it's hard to back him.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, he was a superstar, still is a superstar. And
Yeah, he
big-time
is,
brands
but a different-
got
He
rid
had
of
to
him.
like resurrect
You
himself.
gotta.
He had to go. He had to hit rock bottom, and then
You know
And
who
he
I
kinda,
heard of
like-
recently is Michael Phelps, like on a random talk, and
Okay.
like an old one.
okay.
You know, they were like speaking about Michael Phelps, and I was like, I wonder what happened to Michael Phelps. I mean, he could really, I don't know.
He
Do you
probably
guys
is doing
know?
whatever the hell he wants to do. I have
Yeah.
no idea. I don't follow him anywhere. But whatever
Yeah.
he wants to do, I'm
Yeah.
sure he's doing it.
Yeah.
We talked to his agent
Oh, we did. Yeah, I knew that. I
about
knew
doing
that.
some coffee stuff with him.
Did we?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it, Mike. Mike, what up?
His agent's not
Holla at your
not
boy.
too
A
responsive.
lot of those
Yeah.
agents. are
You know
very
what? Just slide
responsive.
into his
Yeah.
DM.
Yeah.
That's
It actually
I
would be
always
better
do
because
that.
a lot of the agents just aren't very responsive. To that
Well,
type of
unless
thing.
it's a huge big deal, and they, you know,
Exactly.
it's like money talks for them.
Yeah.
yeah, which
Yeah.
makes sense. It's
Right.
business, but you know, there's maybe we have money to spend.
Yeah,
we don't
right.
have Michael Phelps millions,
Yeah.
but you know, I don't know.
I think he's got like 3 kids now, like little kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he stopped winning gold and started making babies.
Partying,
Yeah.
but like, what was his thing? He just smoked a
I think
bong,
he smoked
right?
weed,
That
yeah.
was
Yeah,
it?
but he had so much. It was really like
He got a lot of backlash.
his cereal got like stuffed to grocery outlet, you know, and like got rerouted.
for weed.
Yeah, and now it's legal.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It is crazy. A lot of people were like that.
And
though.
he was,
just-
well, I don't know, 22 or something.
He
Like
was
when
young.
did- yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure he's doing fine with his millions somewhere, chilling.
Definitely.
And if he wants to work,
Yeah.
he'll call somebody up and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I want to do this thing."
Yeah. Give me a speaking
Absolutely.
engagement for $250,000 or something.
I'm
you
sure he
know?
kills it.
Yeah.
I'll speak for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
For
yeah.
ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
All those guys can do it. All those, but he's at a weird time too, where people weren't really making money off social when he was in his prime 5 whatever years ago. Now it's totally different.
Oh my gosh.
Who's the? I'll sound like an idiot for this. Who's the big soccer player, like the biggest, that dime piece
God.
dude?
Oh, no.
No, no.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the
No,
God.
no,
God
the
dude
guy here in the
LA, yeah.
galaxy.
What's his name you're talking about?
I have no idea.
It's a
I
name
know who you're
can't-
talking
I can't
about,
really
but
say
I-
his name, yeah.
I'm like slowly fading in the background.
No, Ronaldo. I heard there was an article saying he made more on social than he does off soccer, and he makes like 90 million.
Oh,
some ridiculous
yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and that,
absolutely
and all those
insane.
people should be doing that and could be doing that instead of, you know, like Ronaldo's obviously a different level type of dude, and he's really good looking and charismatic and blah blah blah. But most of these people could be doing the same damn thing, and I'm sure some do.
Yeah.
I'd love to see how different contracts are for athletes 5 years ago as opposed to today. Like, and how much social is written into it, and all right,
Like obligations.
Probably a
Yeah.
lot.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Like how many posts?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're smart.
And then you can delete it after 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I bet it's different too. Where I guarantee it's not written in the contract with like NBA and NFL compared to like I don't know, MLS or like lower level sports. Because you can't control like NBA guys the way you can control other guys.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys probably don't run their social, or they have a team behind their social. They
Yeah.
might post some of it.
No, what I'm saying, but to use their name, like you're not. Remember when we were working with the Cavs for a while, and like they couldn't get them to do anything. They had to go. They can't just say, "Oh, hey, you know," even if it's a guy on the bench, they have to go to the agent and say, "Is this approved? We're going to pay you X amount of dollars because of the like."
Yeah.
You just can't do. You can't just pull them because they're on the team.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking more about social stuff.
That
They
is
do
that was
brand
social
deals.
stuff. Yeah.
It
But
all
that
goes
wasn't- they
through
weren't
their
getting paid for
agency,
that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff they were the Cavs were getting paid by the brand. The athlete wasn't getting paid by the brand. So
They
kind of
would have been. No, that's what I'm saying. Is like
Oh, they would have been
the
for an
Cavs as a
appearance.
whole as a team just can't say, "Hey, because you're on my team,
Oh yeah.
we can do that."
Right. I'm at brand deal
Yeah.
with Tim Curran and not the Cavs.
Oh, I thought you
not
meant
Curran
like
Media.
contracts with teams and
No, yeah, that totally
Stuff like
different.
that.
Yeah. I'm sure they have a minimum appearance where they
Yeah.
have to go like
Yeah,
do
yeah.
good stuff for the community. But all that stuff's written in collective bargaining.
Yeah.
How many times, limits, and I mean, at least generally speaking, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
there's cutoffs. They're not trying to eat too much of those people's time. And speaking of eating time, we're rolling, Diana.
we are rolling.
We're here.
No,
Are
I'm
we rolling
learning
here?
stuff.
We're
I'm
rolling.
learning
Yeah, we're
stuff.
rolling.
Okay.
I'm always rocking.
All right, ride.
I always do this. We just roll into it.
Roll into
We're
it.
here from Encino, California. Flew in all the way from Encino.
Flew in private jet.
Oh, yes. You
You
know,
know-
from the Van Nuys Airport
Yeah.
straight to the Santa Monica Airport.
I was listening to earlier today is the 30 for 30 podcast.
Uh-huh.
Are you familiar with 30 for 30?
No.
No, okay. It's a sports series.
We're going sports heavy already.
Yeah.
We are. We
Yeah.
are.
Are you
I
a-
brought it up.
Yeah.
So.
You did,
Yeah.
you did, yeah. But it was about Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, who are like two of the best female players of all time, and they played in the NBA, and they were making like 45K. I think they're like our age-ish, so like early 2000s, mid 2000s.
They're making 40. Wow.
45K, that's it.
Oh, my God.
And they one of them was like the second pick in the draft, and the other one was like fourth or something. But they could go play in Russia, and they had this one guy who was paying. She ended up making Taurasi, I think, was making 100K, and then she was making 200K, and then this other owner wanted them to play on this team, and they were making like 500K. So like huge amounts higher.
Like 100. Yeah.
Yeah, but what they started, and one thing they noticed too is like the difference between how a WNBA athletes get treated versus NBA athletes, which it's two totally different
I mean,
businesses.
45K.
45K is like
For 80 games. Or something like that?
I imagine.
Do they play the same amount as NBA?
I doubt it. They're just over the summer, so
Okay.
no chance they do.
It's
It's probably
40,
like
40 games or something.
Yeah. But I like the difference in what they do is ridiculous. I bet you LeBron makes double that in a game.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah, at least, yeah.
But they were saying like they would fly, like they would be on like regular flights, and they'd have to be up at 4:45, like crazy stuff like
Wow.
that. And then she moved out to Russia, played on that team, and they'd be on private charter jets and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So like just the difference
They're
of
actually
it.
respected.
Yeah, it's totally different. And I I get where like the team, the WNBA team, and again this is 10 years ago, different business than it is now. WNBA is a lot more popular, but they're
But
trying.
is it?
Yes, it is. It is.
I feel like they're like how to
It's-
like involve people at a younger age, especially feminine, like not feminist, but like females in
Yes.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they've done a good job of like finding their market and then
Good.
going to the market. They do better. I don't know what numbers are specifically, but I'm pretty sure most of them are making six figures. So
I
that's
sure hope so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the best people 10 years ago are making 45K. To say, everyone's making six figures now is a big deal, I think. But anyway, so they were
But
just
that's
like,
their full time job,
well, that's why
Yeah.
they would go to Russia and like actually make money.
and then come back to play.
And
in
then,
WNBA.
so they played WNBA for their 3-4 months, and then in the off season they would go and play in EuroLeague, and on this specific team. But the guy that was the owner was a former Russian spy, and he ended up getting murdered.
Oh no!
Shot
and she was telling about it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Why, like during the season or something, or this is after it's
yes,
all over?
before the semis or something like that, quarterfinals maybe. Jesus. Of the one, yeah, wild. Yeah, crazy shit.
That's where all that money came
Damn.
from.
Oh yeah, yeah, and he had all these ties to like craziness.
Did they keep the league going and stuff, or?
He was the owner, not the owner of the league. He's the owner of the team.
Yeah, did the team? What happened?
Yeah, his wife was the owner of the team. Became the owner, and money went down. Or she was like, I don't know if I can afford, to continue this whole thing how we're doing it now. And then Diana Taurasi was like, or one of them, I don't remember which one, was like, I'll play for free the rest of the year. Like they had a real relationship. They became family with this guy. Like I guess the guy was like a really good dude to them. Yeah. Whatever he did outside of it. Yeah. He was a really good dude to them.
That's nice of her, for sure.
Yeah, now it's not the same team it was. It's more of like a breeding ground for young athletes. It's kind of how they worded it at the end of it. That's what I listened to during my workout this morning.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk you.
Yes.
So what do you do? Why do you do it? Former CPA.
Oh gosh,
let's get into the story.
What specifically? Where do we want to start?
You tell us.
All right. So you're a former CPA. So you were a CPA.
Yes.
When did you quit? Why?
I fulfilled my obligations as a Chinese daughter.
Okay.
Gosh. I was working at Deloitte, which is like a top 4 accounting firm. And I got my CPA, and I think it was my first year. It gets a little like dark. Like my ex-boyfriend died like when I was 21. Okay. And that kind of really sparked, it really just shifted everything in my life. Like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? So all the questions I think people ask, it just all came to me at once. And you have to heed the calling because they'll just keep coming towards you, right? So for about a year after he died, I kind of just was not really present in life. And it wasn't that I was suicidal, but I was okay if I didn't exist. And that led me into my journey of figuring out what I really wanted to do. And I tried to run from it. Like the day that I found out he died, I was like, I want to go to Yosemite. Like I should go hiking. Like not face it.
Was that something you guys had done?
No, it was just my escapism, right? I was in Bali, and I wanted to start a nonprofit for like the kids there because as a first generation Asian American, I believe education is what separates opportunity from people. And I see that firsthand, coming from a family who grew up as children farmers, to now like lawyers and, pharmacists and auditors, like whatever. Like I believe education at that age was really what drove the difference. So while I was in Bali, we had a driver, and he told us how much it costs like for them to send their kids to school. And for them, it was a lot. It was like maybe $300 US, which is maybe coffee change for us in a year. So I came up with this brilliant idea to like create this like thing. And I was in New York with a bunch of my coworkers, and we were out there for training, and we were all out drinking. And I said, I really want to start this nonprofit. And one of my coworkers says, why? Like, there's there's so many people to help in America, which I believe is true. But I believe in America, like you do have opportunities, in other places you absolutely don't even have a choice. Sure. Right. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, at the end of the night, we're getting into the cab, and I was like, I just don't know what my purpose is. I guess my purpose is to help protect shareholders. And it was kind of this thing where I was like, we still laugh about it today, Yeah. And so shortly thereafter, I quit. In between, one of the reasons why I moved to LA was to pursue acting, because during that whole journey of healing, I started taking acting classes just because it was something that I wanted to do, maybe subconsciously, but because I had never seen anyone in my circle or even in my community do it, I didn't think it was a real possibility. So my boyfriend at the time, super amazing, for like, I think our anniversary or like my birthday, he got me this acting class, you know, and I'm over there doing like a scene from a Tennessee Williams play, and like I totally connect with, you know, this prostitute that's like on her bed, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, there's something really here. There's something very, very therapeutic about this. So I believe in following the breadcrumbs of life. And so one thing led to another. I ended up quitting my job. I worked in the Bay Area. That's where I'm from, San Francisco. Okay. And then I did a film with a bunch of LA actors, and that's kind of like back in 2013, and that's kind of like why I moved out here.
So you got out here, so you've been out here for 5 years. And then that's the journey.
And then about 6 years, and it's like this huge I did not know what I was signing up for, but I knew I needed it, right? Like you come to LA and it's not like, oh, I'm just going to pick up where I like started. It's like, I'm going to deal with all the shit that I needed to deal with, but because I was in the comfort of my community, I didn't have to. I got away with like, you know, just not dealing with it.
Sure.
So that journey has been absolutely incredible, like incredible heartbreak in a different way, right? Like dealing with a loss of someone is very tragic, and then dealing with like maybe a relationship heartbreak is so different. So I experienced like my heartbreak like in that aspect for the very first time, and it was a very short-lived relationship, but what it really did for me was open up the healing that I needed to do with my parents, specifically my mother.
Okay.
Right.
And your parents are up in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing people. Just, it comes back, we were talking about perspective earlier. They come from a totally different like world.
Are they both Chinese?
Mm-hmm. Like they both grew up in China, like during a time where there was so much scarcity that like it becomes your mindset, right? You come to America, you don't speak the language. They had 4 kids, worked, you know, like 6 days a week. And then that one day my dad would take us to McDonald's and we'd have so much fun in the playpen.
Yeah.
And I'd get my little Polly Pocket Happy Meals. But we made the most with what we had. But during that time of my heartbreak, like I had gone to therapy when I first moved to LA, and my therapist said, you know, Diana, it must have been so hard with your mother. And she talked about my mom, and I'd be like, you can't talk about my mom. Only I can talk about my mom. You know, I like so protective because that's my nature, right? To protect the people I love. So it took a lot of chipping away and beating me down for me to really get vulnerable and open about healing this part of me, right?
Okay.
And that led me ultimately to find God in my sense, like, because I remember just crying all over the place, everywhere. Like I'd be at brunch with like the 6 feet black guy, and I'm just sitting there crying, and he's just holding space for me. He's just like, you know, not even trying to fix things, not even trying to talk about it, just like eating while I'm crying and just holding space and being there, right? A good friend. So where was I going with that? Healing, right?
Yeah.
What was I saying? Healing?
Yeah.
Finding God in that. Like, I remember just walking out one day and just realizing, oh my gosh, how can I expect so much from another human? There has to be something greater than this. Like, how can I ever put so much emphasis and expectation on another human being? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a parent, whether it's a kid. I mean, now that you guys are parents, I'm not. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So coming out of that and then realizing I'm the creator of my own life. I'm the co-creator of my own life. I get to write the story I want to tell. It's interesting because this morning, for some reason, Maya Angelou's just came to my mind, Still I Rise, right? Which I'd heard many times in the past, but it didn't really like click in me. And then this morning, for some reason, I just like started watching her videos and reading the poem again. And it's like, oh, I could have totally been a victim to everything that I experienced in my life. I could have used, you know, the immigration story as like, oh, I can't do this, or, oh, this death, the world sucks, or, oh, this heartbreak, like I'm never going to love again. So I think the last 3 years was me really kind of healing a lot, me being open and actually like very vulnerable to change. And someone said to me, Diana, I think that you're running away from relationships, because I had taken a break from like dating. And I said, actually, no, I'm not. Like, I just know that if I get in a relationship right now in this point in my life, I'm absolutely going to repeat the habits that I had before, because habitually within me, I have not like healed, transcended whatever I was going through. So I needed to have that space to like be honest with myself, you know, learn how to be alone. It was so hard to be alone.
A lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
Being alone ain't the easiest thing.
Yeah. And I grew up with like there's 3 other siblings. There was 4 of us in like a 3-bedroom house. So we're so tightly knit. So I would, on a Friday night, be by myself consciously, you know. I'd like drive myself to the beach at night and just like hang out in Malibu and like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna learn how to do this today. So that kind of leads me to like my journey now of helping people see that there's possibility, you know, being the light in the situation. And through that, I have to work on myself consistently. Like, where am I falling short? And also celebrating, like, you know, the good and the bad, not being so hard on yourself, not being like, you know, so hard on yourself. Yeah.
How do you do that? So like, I come to you and I'm like, are you, the people you work with, is there a certain type of person? Is it somebody who hates their job? Is it all females, males, young, old?
It's females and males, but lately it's a lot more females. And I was like thinking about this. A lot of it is like artists who are struggling or like know that they have something to offer, but like don't necessarily know how to get there.
Makes sense.
And like they have an external goal and an external vision, but underlying that is actually like healing that has to go through, right? I was with a girl recently. And we're at Aroma Cafe. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
I'm familiar, but I've never been.
Oh,
Where
you guys should definitely go. It's in Studio City, like borderline Toluca Lake, Studio City. Okay. So like in your old hood.
Yeah.
No Wi-Fi. So you gotta be present.
One of those.
I dig that.
So you gotta write, right? You gotta write or talk or eat.
Or stare at people awkwardly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People watch.
Yeah.
And we're talking and she's like, yes, I'm making money off my social media. People like, you know, there's like Twitch and stuff that people can pay you while you like, you know, perform or play sports or play games. And she just like wanted to find her purpose, because she said, I could do it, but like, I'm not like excited about it, or like who am I talking to? I'm making these funny videos, but what's my purpose? So it came down to like, and then she just started bursting out in tears, like, and then uncovering and chipping away the family dynamics that had been like she'd been carrying along, that like she didn't know. I think we all subconsciously know something's there, but perhaps we just like haven't had the right questions or situations to reveal them to us.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, people like who want to like shift their perspective or know that something's not working, but they just
feel off.
Yeah, like they don't know exactly what it is.
Is it like purpose, or is it just like, I don't know where my purpose is within all this, or is it like, I love creating my art, but I'm not making any damn money doing this? Is it people like that, or both?
It's probably both. I think it comes into like they just want more accountability first and foremost, and they want like maybe some more structure, or just to have a dialogue with somebody that's been, you know, gone through something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how do you work with them?
How do I work with them? It's very like unique, right? Like case by case.
Sure.
I think
but you come in first convo with me, I'm like, hey, I got issues, help me.
I don't know if it's like straight up like that.
I think he's being serious right now.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, right.
An interview.
But I'm saying like issues as far like here, my issue is this, and that. Like I can't.
You know, it's interesting because what you think is your issue might not actually be the real issue, right?
It's like the symptom of the issue, right?
Exactly, and that's amazing. Yes, exactly.
Thank you. So, I'll be here all day.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
No, so usually like I start off with like, what's on your mind? Like, what's going on? It's a question that no one really asks. Like, how are you? Oh, I'm great.
Yeah, it's just some auto comment.
So it's like, oh, what's on your mind? And then
I'm stealing that, by the way.
Yeah, take it.
What's on your mind?
What's on your mind?
Just
yeah,
say
I
that
like
to
that.
everybody.
Walk down the street.
Well,
What's on your
no,
mind?
I'm not going to do that.
No.
Not here in LA.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God. Then they're like, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
3 days later.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been that person.
Oh yeah.
But like on social, I'll start a convo with somebody and somebody else's messages or comments. What's on your mind's a great, like, it is different. And it is.
It's
like,
an open-ended question
Yeah.
that makes you really go, oh, I don't know. What is on my mind?
Yeah.
You're not like on autopilot, like, oh, I'm fine. I'm great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah. So I'll start off with that and they'll usually lead me somewhere. But eventually on that first session, I'll like, you guys know the wheel of life, right? Like.
No, talk to me.
So basically.
Are you familiar with that?
No, the circle of life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the Lion King. If I could sing, I would like break out and sing right now. No, but basically your life is broken up into component parts, right? Like your relationships, your friendship, your spirituality, your career, your finances, your health, you know, like, and so we go through this chart and I usually bring it out or I ask them, like, what areas of your life do you want to work on that they think, right? But eventually we're going to go through the whole thing and you kind of mark down from a scale of 1 to 10 where you're at. And then eventually we draw it out, like we line it up, like connect the dots, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
And then you'll see if your wheel will get stuck somewhere, right? Like if it were a car wheel, like would you be able to like keep going?
Okay.
You know, and that's kind of like about life. Like you can't keep operating with your life like lopsided because eventually it'll catch up to you. Like if you're having too much fun or like you're all about relationships or you're all about your career, like it needs like a holistic balance. It doesn't all have to be 10s, but it all has to be like in sync. Hopefully above 5.
Gotcha.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you, all right, I've got an issue with my relationships or whatever. So then you'll specifically work on relationships and finances. Those are 2 things. Say that. So then you're going to sit down here with me and are we going to then do another set of like a worksheet or goals, or how are you helping me work through my issues?
No, it's so much more fluid than that, right? It's like a conversation like this.
Okay.
But like I got my certification for being a life coach, which then like you learn a little bit about neuro-linguistic programming, how to reframe, a little more ideas about like fear, how to deal with that, which, you know, it's like a very nice put together program from all the books and all the experiences that you've had kind of like put together.
Sure.
With coaching specifically, we believe that the client, the other person, has all the answers within themselves. Like you could meet someone for the first time and be able to lead them through a coaching session just based on the questions that I'm able to ask. So what it was required of me is to be able to listen in on like what's going on. And based on what you say, I might be able to identify, oh, that's his limiting belief. Like, oh yeah, I'm always angry. Well, who told you you're always angry? Like in what ways are you not angry? So the person starts thinking and you start looking in the other direction, right? So your scope, your perspective is like this. The question opens you up and you're able to look and you're going to say, oh, wait, that's actually not really true.
Yeah.
And if that's not true, then what else isn't true?
Sure.
Yeah.
Who was it? I don't know if it was my mother-in-law or my mother with the baby, and the baby's like a week or 2 weeks old, and they're like, "Oh, are you so angry, buddy?" And I was like, even like that, like he's not angry. He's just trying to communicate. He shit all over himself, or he's hungry, or he's uncomfortable or something. Like, so I was like, to like Liv's my girl. So like, hey, I know it sounds like stupid and like hippy dippy shit, but I don't want to start that like right now that he's angry. He's not angry. He's trying to communicate. This is how he communicates. It may come across, if I was yelling and screaming, yes, I would be angry, but he's not. He's just trying to communicate.
And I absolutely love that because words are so powerful. Why are you so angry? Like I am this. It's like, oh, what, like, coming in from it in a different perspective, it's like, what's going on? Like, what's causing this frustration or whatever? Not why are you this? Like, same thing when kids say like, oh, or people say to kids like, oh, she's just really shy. Like, you're kind of like putting that on them. So it's really amazing that as a parent, you're like very aware of that as such, like at 2 weeks old.
I think I'm aware of that. Maybe there's 80 other things I do that.
Hey, as long as we're like just a little bit better than how we were raised, Yeah, different though.
Yeah. But, guess that's all like.
So go back actually.
Okay.
So you've gone through all these things in your own life, and you decided, okay, I'm gonna start my business. How did you even go about that and like get your first client or
because you quit, you move out to LA, you're like, I'm gonna act, and then you're like, I'm gonna start coaching people. How does that?
Where's the transition I had like, I guess as an actor, you end up coaching a lot of your friends as well, right? Like, because you face a lot of rejection. Like, you put in hours and hours and hours of work, like, just to, like, for the audition, and you might never hear anything back. And then when you book it, then it's like, then there's this other thing. Even getting to a point to get these auditions, to get in the room is like a whole endeavor, right? So I was coaching a friend through a situation where she was working on a show with like a big name, and she was feeling some kind of way about it.
Who was the big name?
You know. So I was just working with her through it, and at the end of the conversation, it was like, is it your ego that's getting in the way? Do you feel insignificant in this situation? Or like, what is your job here? Because for me, when I walk on set, it's, how do I service everything that's going on here? How do I be of service? Right? Like, I'm here as an invited guest on their show because like it's their show. Exactly. Yeah. And you're also a collaborator. You're just, you know, you are part of it. It's like Oprah says, you're like an invited guest to the table. Anyway, so long story short, I said that multiple times already.
Long story long.
Yeah, long story long. She basically, it was like she left and she was like, "Oh, you're absolutely right. Like, I'm an invited guest here, right? Like, I need to be the light in the situation. I can't control someone else's outcome, right? Like their reaction. I can only control what's going on with me. And so long as I'm full and whole and like my cup's overpouring, you hear that statement a lot, then I'm able to like offer help and be the light and like be the light in the situation where maybe God knows what they're going through, you know, they have a whole family, I don't know. So she left and she was like, you should like moonlight as a psychologist. Like, absolutely not. Like, I can't, I had a really hard time separating myself from other people's stuff. Like, people would leave and I'd like go into my room and start thinking of solutions and like feeling their pain and like, you know, and it's like how to protect yourself while helping other people, right? So that's why I like started coaching is I wanted, when I took the course, when I got my certification, I really just wanted to be able to be there for my friends and the people in my life without being swept up by them, without like, I can't even focus on my own work because I'm thinking about their shit. You know, so it's been really helpful.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
How are you getting most of people now? Are they all
sitting outside casting calls?
You know what's crazy? This girl, I sat down and she just like started like what you said, like dumping all the stuff on
It doesn't seem that crazy. You're at an audition with a bunch of people who hear no, you're not good enough all the time.
But it's like, if you do it enough, I feel like if you stay in the game long enough, you realize it's really not about you, right? Your only thing to control is yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's absolutely
Which is a great mindset. But you also know a lot of people don't have that mindset. And they're like, oh, wasn't I good enough?
This is true.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time it's ever happened to me.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And she just was telling me, like, I don't have money. Like, I didn't know if I could come to this audition, if I could pay the bills. I mean, I could even pay for the fuel. And I was like, girl, you need to go get a job at the Grove down the street because you're beautiful and you can speak English and you have no reason, absolutely no reason to be there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, control what you can control.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I said to her. I was just like, you need to go get a job. You know? And I guess she was doing something like hosting, which was leading her into sketchy situations. And I'm like, girl, no. Like, you are worth more than that.
Yeah.
But anyway. So, no, how do I get my clients? A lot of them is organic, like just
word of mouth.
And like when I talk to people, I'm doing more of like, I'm studying digital marketing right now and like moving into that space and like, you know, running some Facebook ads for like a side hustle. So that's been
for
really
other
interesting.
people,
for myself.
For yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
We're in that world.
And just dabbling. Yeah.
Yeah, because you could totally do that. And you can totally
we are totally doing it.
Right? And then you get that in the hands of like, a few people. And Facebook ads are super cheap for what it is.
They are.
To be able to reach like a mass amount of people.
Totally.
We've done a shitty job with that years back. Now we're doing a pretty good job.
Getting better
of making and getting return on our ad spend.
Amazing.
ROAS is what we call that in the biz. Return on ad spend.
The ROAS.
Yeah. So now we're that's where we are. That's what we do.
That's great. Is that your only product?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a mug.
Oh no! I thought you meant like our only product in the business.
We have multiple different coffees and a mug.
Yeah. I thought you meant like, do you have like other products, business products? No. What was your question?
Oh, like,
please rephrase.
Do you have like, a t-shirt with your logo?
Oh, okay.
Like,
not yet. I've been trying to push t-shirts. He's been trying to stiff arm that.
We will, but it's just like
organically.
Yeah. Let's like find our voice and then find something that's going to sell.
What, if you had like a log line for that, like how would you describe your coffee in one line?
Oh, Pat.
A log line.
Throwing back at you.
High quality coffee where every bag we sell gives back.
Amazing.
You fit that into a sentence. I would have made it 2.
Why? She said 1 sentence.
I know. I'm giving you props. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I would have made it 2.
Yeah. So that's it's like if you drink Starbucks, it's a different level. It's a high level quality coffee.
What makes coffee a high level coffee?
Well, it's how it's grown, it's how it's roasted. Those are the 2 things.
Types of beans. So think of the coffee like wine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables that go into like making wine, and there's a lot of variables that go into coffee too. Mm-hmm. We didn't really realize that until we actually went into this, but it's very, very similar, and you can like play with different flavors and with your palate and light, medium roast. There's a lot that goes into actually roasting.
Where
coffee.
did you get your beans?
That one's an Ethiopian.
Yeah, but we work with a guy here locally who goes
sources
from the farmer.
Sources from the farmer and then roasts here 5 miles down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we work directly with him, which is great.
Do you guys ever watch The Prophet or Shark Tank?
Shark Tank, yeah.
We used to watch Shark Tank. I like The Prophet. I like The Prophet guy too.
Oh, he is so funny.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. He's good on Spectrum
I know who you're talking
TV.
about, but I've never watched it.
I like him a lot.
They have a coffee roaster on one of the Prophet episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here in LA?
I could see that.
No, it wasn't in LA. I think it was in the East Coast. It was actually doing really well, but it was like a relationship that like God, it was fucking messy.
A lot of his are like that. It's like small business, and he comes in and tries to do stuff, but there's always like husband, wife, or like some guy just really fucked up.
It was the ex-wife's friend that he had like, bought the business with and like been in a relationship with, and they no longer like are together, and now the business is drama. It makes for TV, I guess.
Yeah,
I like him. What is that on NBC? Is that what they're on?
CNBC.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was it.
I like him.
So.
I like him a lot. And I like they've been doing some stuff. I don't watch no TV at all, but I happen to like whenever I watch TV, I catch his stuff. They did one thing. It was like almost like a look back. So it was like him sitting with a producer.
Oh yeah.
And they're talking about the episodes, and she's like, "I tried to get you to go to this chicken spot, and you didn't want to go." And he's like, "Really? I don't remember that." It's just a cool interaction talking about the show itself.
Yeah, I think that's what The Prophet is, right? It's all a look back. Yeah.
Yeah.
On
so
like
cool.
why they. Yeah, it's commentary on the episode way after, and they're like can be more truthful with the situation.
Yeah,
that's cool. They should.
It's a cool show.
More shows.
If you like entrepreneurship,
Shark Tank should do that. I know they go and they're like, hey, so and so, only if they killed it. They go back and they look and they say, our city coffee, we tenfold in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Instead of going back and being like, all right, well, immediately we came together and we were like, oh shit, this didn't work. So we switched and adjusted, and now we're marketing to this group of people, and this is why we did this, and the manufacturing's here because of this, and like really show the process of it instead of just being like, hey, this works.
No,
like, we know this shit's gonna work.
That's not Shark Tank's vibe. Shark Tank's like the American Idol of that.
Well, the Prophet's
very
like
well
a spin-off because like the guy is actually one of the sharks.
Was he?
Is that what you call them? I think so.
Was he a shark? Okay.
It was basically. It is right. Like
I don't know. I've
never seen him on Shark Tank
a few years ago.
He's not. Oh God, I have a feeling.
It feels like
I could totally be wrong, but it is.
I think you are wrong.
No, I actually think he invested in the company, and then it follows the journey. You know what?
Who knows?
Oh.
I feel like I need to Google this.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's kind of important.
The Prophet Shark Tank.
Prophet.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. I don't think it is the case.
I don't know. It's been a while because I know Shark Tank does those like even guest people now.
Yeah, A-Rod's on
That's
recently.
Right.
You know what? The internet does not work.
Oh yeah, you gotta get on Wi-Fi. You gotta get on Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi here.
Yeah.
If you're not on Wi-Fi, you get nothing here.
No, yeah, you can't. No reception. I have to go take phone calls outside.
Yeah.
When Timmy and I call, we're just talking. Like if he's at his house, he'll have to FaceTime me because it'll go through because it's through Wi-Fi.
Oh, that sounds not
frustrating.
Bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I don't only have a handful of people that call me anyway. So if you call me, just FaceTime you.
On outside.
Or I talk outside.
Or FaceTime audio.
Walk down the street.
Oh, I guess we could FaceTime audio.
WhatsApp, WeChat, Kakao, so many.
Yeah, I know WhatsApp. You got WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'm on WhatsApp.
But you talk to people overseas.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I think I've had it and then got rid of it.
Anyway. WhatsApp? Yeah, you don't need it if you...
No, I don't need it. Yeah. So how do you... With your Facebook ads, what are you trying to do? What are you sending or what are you posting? What are you boosting?
For me, I do so many random things, but have you guys heard of Kangen water?
No.
Spell it.
Kangen, which oh my gosh, you guys have to try the water.
No.
Okay.
So basically, it's like electrolyzed reduced water. So we go and I don't know if you do this. What kind of water do you guys drink?
Filtered water from this shit. Yeah.
Filtered.
Yeah. So like I used to schlep to not Trader Joe's, Whole Foods and get the alkaline water.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So my friend introduced me to the Kangen machine, like Enagic's like Kangen machine, which is like alkaline water, but more so than that, it's like very antioxidizing and it also is microclusters. So when you drink water, like you don't get bloated. So you could drink 16 ounces like that.
Okay.
Anyway, so I got the machine and like when you get the machine, you get like distributor rights on it. So I kind of like dabble in that as well.
Oh, so that's what you're
is that what this? So that's what the Facebook ads are for?
That's what the Facebook ads are.
Okay.
Yeah.
That can fit.
Interesting. And then so what do you do with what? Like, give us an idea of what that looks like.
What do you mean?
What does your ad look like? And where does it go? And what are they doing?
So it basically is a promotion of the fact that one, the health benefits of it, and also two, like the potential of like, there's a lot of people in the community that have been able to do the business in a way that they like can quit their full-time jobs.
Gotcha.
Right. So they can work purely online and travel. Like I was just like on a call with my accountability partner, I guess I could call her. And she and like 4 of our other girls are out in Barcelona and have been there for like 2 months, just like working from their computer and like doing this.
Chill.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the dream, isn't it? Be able to do what you want where you want.
Exactly. And like really do what you really love. You know, if it's coffee, if it's,
Yeah.
We had somebody on our podcast a few months ago, Beach. I think you were going to the same place, where her whole company, she's got like 20, 30 employees.
Oh, yeah.
They all work remotely. So she'll be all over the world. She has no like home. She just travels, lives out of a suitcase basically.
What kind of company is she doing?
It's like coding and
coding, app development, creative, that type of stuff.
Okay, so you're in front of your computer.
Sure, definitely. Yeah. So she doesn't like you're probably better at face-to-face type of things in certain scenarios, but like she doesn't need to really interact.
Yeah,
I can just show people digitally.
Which is like really good and like not so great, because I like love the opportunity to get to work from wherever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like I miss people.
Yeah.
Like I miss talking to people.
I could use more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Here it's different though. Where like you have to like in order to go talk to people, you have to drive too, and the drive. Like
I will drive
how long did it take you today?
4 hours some days.
Oh yeah.
Well, how long did it take you to get here today?
Like an hour.
Really? Yeah.
45 minutes.
Okay.
I left at 12:15.
And that's a good time. That's why we did it at a good time.
Yeah. And then I have to be down here, so like
and to pick up your husband at 5, it's gonna take you an hour and a half to get home.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we usually like
Get
have
dinner.
dinner. Go to
There you
Santa
go.
Monica, Casa del Mar.
That
just
makes
sit
sense.
there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I love
you have
Casa del
to.
Mar.
Yeah.
That
It's
makes a lot more
amazing.
sense.
They have a tapas, I think, every Tuesday, I think.
Really?
Oh, it is Tuesday.
I think so. I don't know what day, but one of those ones, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes sense on
the
Tuesday.
sunsets there and the live music.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At like 5:20 now.
Yeah.
It's early. All right, so you're working mindset stuff.
Mindset stuff.
Yes, mindset.
Reframing.
Yes, reframing. How are you typically working on just changing how people speak, talk? Are you writing things down? Are you like, if I'm coming to you and I say like, my job's not working, how are you coming back to me? Are you giving me goals? Are you doing 6 months? Are you doing just worksheets? How are you like physically helping me work through
I think if the job's not working, then it's like going deeper, right? Like we have to find what the real problem is. So is the job not working because you just hate your job, or is it because it's your mindset within the job? And it's just it's never simple, right? Because it's reprogramming. But is it reframing how you are looking at the given circumstances, right? You have the context, this job. Is it, in what situation would this job be desirable for you? So for you to kind of look for different ways to view the job, right?
Yeah.
But if it's something where you're just completely not aligned with the company, or you're not in line with, like, I was an auditor, but I really didn't want to do that anymore, and that was not my calling, and I'm forcing myself to, then it's uncovering what is it that you really want. Yeah. Right. And uncovering that. And then when we get to like a good, solid, like, we know what it is we want, then you kind of like develop next steps on how to move forward. So that's kind of what I was getting at, is like, when I leave you, we just met, we went over whatever we needed to go over. What am I taking with me? Is it confusion? Confusion, right? Yeah. Confusion, pure confusion. Isn't that supposed to be the opposite? Tissue paper. Tissue paper. Been though, like in traditional therapy, when you're leaving, I'm like, but I can't leave you because I don't know what to do. Yeah. Well, no, I've never done that. But have you ever been? We went to therapy when we were like 10, 25. Oh, really? Yeah. Our dad had a stroke, so our mom like threw us in the shit. We didn't want to do it. But isn't that the thing? That's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to get you to come back. You know, that's what a lot of people say, right? Like, I had a friend who was very resistant to therapy, but some people really need to go through it, right? I get that. I get that. Yeah. Or they don't. But I don't think so, because, I mean, maybe that's the hook, to make you feel like you need to keep coming back. But well, all right. So I'm sure there's really good therapists. I'm sure there's real slimy therapists. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, if I leave you, you're not making money off me. So you may really try to help, and there definitely are therapists who just want to help me or you, whoever. But there's people that are just like, I better kind of fuck up her brain a little bit, make sure she comes back next week or next month or whatever, you know? Oh my God, there's a saying, like, I remember an acting teacher who said, like, there's books written about that to get people coming back. Oh yeah. Where it's like, oh, you're so great, but it's just your eye is just a little weird. It's just like to get you to come back. Yeah. Yep. So yeah. This all comes down into, you have to know yourself so well, and like what the boundaries are. And maybe it'll take you longer to realize it. But I wouldn't write off like a whole entire industry that's like, like, oh, it's just because they want my fucking money. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. I don't care. Fuck. But yeah. But no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, in general, there are definitely people that do that. Yes, absolutely. People that aren't like that. Absolutely. No, well, with coaching specifically, we always want to leave you off with like an action item, a thing like something that you can actively action, whether that's a shift in mindset, whether that's like keeping tabs on like, how many times did I say this about myself today or something, like an actionable item that kind of moves you forward. Okay. So you're not like, that makes sense. Gotcha. But I've definitely been in therapy where I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I just feel like a nervous wreck. I just feel like I opened everything up and now I don't know what to do. Yeah. That's definitely happened. I get that. Not that I've ever done that. I have a really funny story. Okay. Tell us. Like funny stories. Oh my gosh. I had a therapist. She was freaking insane. Okay. And I go in. Is this in LA? Or? Yeah. Okay. She was really great though. I mean, like in a few sessions I was able to like, I had gotten out of a bad relationship and I was like, he's so manipulative. I feel like he's following me. I feel like he's manipulating me. And then she said to me, Diana, have you ever thought that you were manipulative? And I was like, shit. Yeah. Like, and then I had to sit there and I had to think about it. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. We're all a little bit manipulative to get what we want when we don't get it. Sure. And we might not be evil in it. It might just be because we're unconscious and selfish and like, I want it my way. Like, oh, that's really nice coffee. And like to get what I want and like switch the situation. Sure. But I thought that was a really like, she didn't care what I thought about her, right? Like she didn't care if like I came like attacking her. Sure, but she was just like, throwing it in my face. Sometimes that throws you off. Yeah. Oh, wait, is it me? Yeah. I mean, maybe it wasn't. I don't know what it was. Yeah. Probably not the way you're describing it. Well, I mean, I think in a relationship, both people are always there's always both people are at fault, right? Well, whether it's you staying longer than you needed to, right? Because you're never just the victim.
Yeah. I think I see this a lot with more, it tends to be more females for whatever reason, be like, that guy's an asshole, or that guy doesn't, she wants this and he keeps doing this, like as if it's his fault. Well, isn't he telling you, if he's not doing what you want, isn't he telling you that he doesn't want to be with you? Like, why is he an asshole for not doing what you want him to do? He's saying, I don't want to do this. He's saying he doesn't want to be in this relationship.
He's articulating
without communicating.
He's telling you. Yeah. He's telling you with all of his actions. Like, why is he such an asshole if he just doesn't want to do that? If you can't accept that, then you should just move on. Like, that's, if you can, like, just go to the next. It's done. Wash your hands of it. It's not him just being an asshole. Just let him be.
It's the ideas that we create, right? Like, he is this thing. He needs to be this thing. And whatever other beliefs, right? Maybe they're creeping up in age. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It takes a lot of self-awareness and a lot of like being honest with yourself and being okay with it. And I think it's so beautiful when you do see that, where someone can like walk away from a relationship because they just know that they're worth more than whatever this interaction is producing for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even if it isn't, like, it doesn't have to always be a bad thing. Just
it's
like,
actually
hey,
a really good thing.
Doesn't work. Yeah. Goodbye.
It's really, if you come from a loving place, you can look at it like a whole place and a loving place. You can look at it and say, I absolutely love you. Like, and this is probably the reason why we can't be together, because if I'm together with you, I'm limiting you and I'm limiting myself.
Yeah.
And we're both being lesser versions of ourselves. You give the other person the opportunity to grow. Whether they take it or not is not your responsibility and is not up to you. But you can take responsibility of you and then move forward.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you go back to that therapist?
No.
You fucking fired her, didn't you?
I probably did like one more session with her, and then no.
She called you out on something else, and that was it.
Oh, she also wrote a book, and like I did all the exercises in her book, which is a lot of writing exercises of like, and that was really nice, and I kind of like got what I needed from her. That situation.
That was it.
Yeah, I got what I needed. Like, I was able to work through whatever I needed to work through.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You guys have never been to therapy except that one time at 10 years old.
Nope.
No.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I feel weird about that.
Not going or going?
Going. I wouldn't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, not my vibe. I don't hate on people who do it. Do your thing if that's what you got to do. If that's your mental coach, cool, do it.
Yeah.
Not my vibe.
So there's no life coaching in your life?
No life coaching.
No life coaching.
I'm just flying by the seat of my pants.
Hey, it's working. It's working for you. It's working, you right? Probably, I mean, like, everyone has different ways of going into it, right? Like, some people's traumas are like a certain way. Some people are very resistant towards it. Some people are really open to it. Some people use it as an excuse as well.
Sure.
So you just have to know yourself and what you need to be the best version of you. If you want to be the best version of you.
Lots of people don't want to be the best version of you.
Yeah. Whatever that means, right?
What does that mean? How do you even know that you've reached this best version of you?
That would be a cool thing if you could see it. It was like a meter.
You've reached 100?
Yeah, no, I'm reaching 75 today. And
Did you guys watch that episode of Black Mirror? Did you guys watch
I don't even know what that is.
No, but I know what you're talking about.
No.
Yeah, I've never seen it. But
the rank, you get social points.
Yep.
And, you can't buy a house or get a mortgage if you have these points. It's kind of like what's happening in China right now.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone can see the points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your social meter. So you have to it's like you have to put on a front, extra front to get bonus points. I guess it's people pleasing at its finest.
Which is what we all do all the time anyway.
Yeah.
I saw
to a point.
I saw that I didn't really watch the episode, but it was on and I kind of peeked over for a few minutes. The Good Place, you ever see that?
Yeah.
Do you like The Good Place?
I do.
Okay, so I saw a little bit of season 1 and then I just can't get into stuff. But it was
because you're out creating your own stuff, honestly.
Right, yeah. I mean, I can get off for 30 minutes, but I can't take seasons.
And when he's watching shit, he's watching Frozen.
Frozen and
with the 4-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
Fuck.
The Good Place.
The Good Place, yeah. But they have who is it? Is it Michael, the head guy?
Oh yeah,
the creator of the
yeah.
He has it's a meter of points. But they all so and so's at the top, so they're all trying to work at the top. But then it comes out later that he just made up the numbers anyway. It's fucking gold, man.
Did you get to the end of the episode? I mean, a season.
End of season 1, yes. and then
it's all like
flips. Yeah, and then that's when I was like, I can't do this. Yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, it actually.
What's it on?
Purgatory.
Is that Netflix?
No,
Yeah.
it's on NBC.
With I don't know. It was
Kristen
Hulu
Bell.
where I watched it.
Yeah.
Kristen
You can
Bell.
catch it on Hulu.
She's funny. She's actually really funny. I like her.
Yeah.
And then who's the dude? The
familiar.
Cheers guy. What's his name?
Cheers guy? Oh, Ted Danson.
Ted Danson.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. I've seen the things.
Yeah,
Bits and
it's
pieces of
actually.
it.
Yes.
What,
I've not seen any of the shows.
I
I've
feel
just
like
seen
you could get
ads.
into season 1 because it's the comedy's there.
I'm not really.
Yeah,
It's
actually.
funny,
It is funny.
and then it also is deep,
Yeah,
which is I think it's
I like it.
intelligent. Like
I can dig that,
Yeah.
but I very much don't like scripted shows because I can see the acting in it. I don't want
Really?
to. I want to feel like how you're actually feeling. If I can see the acting or seeing like the writer in the room being like, all right, this is gonna be a good line, and like giving it to the person, I don't.
have you?
Pat-
Do you watch like?
He watches murder mysteries.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
watch
what I was
shit
gonna
like
say.
that.
You probably
Yeah.
are more into drama.
Yeah.
I like docs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I don't watch
Do
a
you
whole lot
watch
of TV.
the films up for the Oscars or anything? Like the award season movies?
No,
Okay, Dark Waters is really
What's
good.
that?
not watched
It's
it.
about like Mark Ruffalo's in it. It's about the DuPont scandal.
Okay.
It's really good. So it's like
Oh, where's this at?
I think it's coming out this month.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that would be into.
Coming out where?
Theaters.
Oh, in theaters.
It's
Okay.
really good. It's really, really good. And I saw a Q&A with Mark Ruffalo talking about it. And he said, yeah, if the government, like, you know, had control over our healthcare,
It's
we would
so
definitely not be, they would have, like, shut this thing down years ago, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the chemical that was exposed in this film is actually in, like, Teflon pans.
Yeah.
Which wasn't banned until 2013. I'm watching the movie like, oh, it's not even about us. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, Aaron Brockovich was like so long ago. Oh my God, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta throw your pens out.
And like all of us have it in us is what they. I watched.
Yeah,
the
99% of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Netflix doc. There's a Netflix doc on this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's really gross, but it's fascinating.
This follows the life of the lawyer that
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was there too. Yeah.
That's got to be good.
That
it's
one's really good.
It's like they knew about this issue in like the late 60s or 70s or something, and it was like whatever the molecule is.
C8.
Oh, yep, that it. And so that they've known about that it was bad for us. They didn't know the degree, but they knew it was bad. And then
They did know the degree too because they did
and then,
studies.
Yeah, and then they did know, and then they just like didn't say anything about it. And then not till they moved that plant to West Virginia or Pennsylvania, wherever that was.
West Virginia, I believe.
Was it West Virginia?
Yeah.
And then, you know, the animals started dying. That
The
had
farmer,
the runoff
like,
from
yeah.
the stuff. And that farmer.
So it like shows his life. Yeah, no, that's a really good one. I think you'd love that.
I will watch
We
that.
go back to theater. When was
But
the
I
last
don't
time you
love
went to a
going to
theater, though?
theaters
Oh, you
either.
went to Lion King. He fell asleep during
Yeah.
Lion King.
I definitely fell asleep during Lion King.
The new Lion King.
I don't.
Have
here's-
you seen that? You need to see it.
Oh, it's
Really?
very good. Very good. I'm not good
need to
at.
see it.
I'm not good at chilling for 2 hours, especially at night.
Because you're a doer.
Yeah, I like to do things.
Yeah.
I like to do things, but also I like to be comfortable. So if I'm at some other place and somebody else's seats, and like there's like I think it was Lion King too, where it was like
Yeah.
sticky table. I'm like,
Where's the table at?
wasn't
Were
it
you at like
a
an
flat table?
iPix or
Oh no,
something?
no, I could be wrong. Maybe,
No, that
me and Liv went
armchair.
to a movie. Liv, my
Armchair.
lady, likes to go to movies. So a different movie. I'm thinking of a different one.
Okay, on a side note, you
Yeah.
guys need to go watch Ford versus Ferrari.
What's this?
It is so good with Matt Damon and Christian Bale. It's
Is that
like-
out? I saw.
I think it's out on like the 15th or something.
Okay.
I watched,
Yeah.
you know, I like get to go to all the screenings and
Uh-huh.
stuff. Right?
Sure.
So, oh my God. You know, Asian men, older Asian men, like they don't like emote a lot, right? Like a gross generalization,
Yeah,
gross
yeah, yeah.
generalization. But the guy next to me was like this. And I was doing the same thing, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And I don't even care about cars.
Really? Well, I don't either. And he neither. You
No, I
yeah,
don't
but
get
it was like,
I haven't had a car in years.
The story is good
it
though.
follows the story of a guy, like the underdog, who ends up like doing this. But anyway,
Gotcha.
if you're looking for a fun family movie, that was really good.
Well, fun family movie is Frozen 2 coming out in 2
yeah,
weeks.
that's the big news around our area.
Number 2 Frozen.
Yeah.
They waited a long time to do a number
Yeah. 7 years, 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It has to be a science. Like it's the gap of like, okay, now those 8-year-olds who were 2 are like getting into something else. You know what I mean? That's still
You've exhausted.
Yeah.
All you can exhaust.
I'm sure there's something to that. Disney's not stupid.
all the Disney on Ice is. No, you know why it is? It's the whole launch of the new Disney Plus platform.
Well, that too, but
yeah, they've probably known about that for 2-3 years. They've probably been working towards it. And like, what that has to
launched
be one
today.
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. So
launched today.
Yep.
Times up perfectly. They'll put it on the platform if it's not immediately soon after. Get everyone to buy.
Oh no, it'll be in theaters first for.
Right. Well, soon after though, they'll have it Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Only.
Maybe they'll probably do that when Christmas is a little.
No, and they're doing a like a. It's not like a Frozen on Ice, but it's like a theater version that they're going on tour until February too.
Jeez, the amount of money they put.
Oh, it's gonna be tons.
The amount of money people pay for.
Oh yeah.
Have y'all been to Disneyland?
Well,
yeah.
We're going back soon.
You are?
Yeah, I told Kai.
Oh wow.
She's a good listener. We'll go.
If she's a good listener.
Yeah, she fills her chart.
Nice. Well, let's end on Frozen talk.
Yes.
Diana, thank you for coming through.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Again, use our code BS at ourcitycoffee.com. You'll get 15% off any and all coffee orders. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to drink all that sugar shit at that corner coffee shop. Get some real good quality coffee. You're an adult. Step your game up. Again, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.